Learn pulse in simple time and learn how to teach rhythm and rest rules when adding rest to complete a measure. Today, I'm going to share 3 simple steps to score 100% in understanding rhythm and rest placement in simple time. In Ultimate Music Theory Expert Tip number 6, you learn music history. And you learn how composers use various instruments to create a sound to describe the characters and images in their mind to tell a story through music. In UMT Expert Tip number 7, Learn Pulse in Simple Time, you will discover how the pulse of each time signature indicates the grouping of the rest to complete a measure of music. For the best Ultimate Music Theory expert tips on how to teach UMT, subscribe to our Ultimate Music Theory YouTube channel and just hit the bell to be notified when I post a new video. I'm Gloria St. Germain from Ultimate Music Theory. When you teach UMT in the Prep 2 Rudiments workbook, you will learn how the exclusive rhythm and rest systems really simplifies the understanding of the pulse, which is strong, weak, or medium in simple time. The pulse of a time signature indicates the grouping of the rests. And the exclusive 3-step system of using the plus and tilde signs helps students determine when and how to combine rests in a measure while easily feeling the beat. Now, when you teach UMT Prep 2 Rudiments, on page 35, we're going to be adding rest to complete a measure. So how does that work exactly? Well, if you have your books handy, you can join me in checking it out. So on page 35 in the Prep 2, so that's the purple book. So here we are on page 35. We can see how to complete a measure, and there are rest rules. So we can see that we have a strong, we have a weak, and we have a medium. And when adding rest to complete a measure, we want to complete one basic beat at a time. And when combining rests, we want to look at the pulse. We can join a strong plus weak or a medium plus weak, but we do not join a weak tilde weak or a weak tilde medium pulse. So let's break it down into 3 simple steps. So step number 1, we want to identify the time signature. So first, let's review the rest rules. We have a pulse in time signature, and the pulse is strong, weak, or medium. All right, so now we want to say, well, when can we combine them? When we're looking for a pulse, we can join a strong plus weak or a medium plus weak, but we cannot join a weak to a weak, so we use a little squiggle called a tilde sign, or a weak tilde medium, so they cannot be combined. So let's identify the time signature. Now the top number indicates how many beats per measure, and the bottom number 4 indicates a quarter note receives 1 beat. So the first thing that we do is we're going to scoop the basic beat of each quarter note value in each measure. So when the number is 2, the top number is 2, we're going to have 2 beats per measure. And the pulse here will be strong, weak. When the top number is 3, there will be 3 quarter note values per measure, and the pulse will be strong, weak, weak. When the top number is 4, there will be 4 groups in each measure with a pulse of strong, weak, medium, weak. So the scoop is a visual aid in representing 1 beat. So below each bracket, we're going to add some rest to complete each measure. Now here's the most important lesson in adding rest to complete a measure, and that is this. You always start with what you have and complete 1 basic beat at a time. So here's how it works. When we have 2/4 time, the pulse is strong, weak. And now we have 1/8 note. In order to complete the strong pulse, we need to add 1/8 rest. And then we're going to cross off basic beat number 1. So he's toast. He's done. Now we have to add 1/4 rest, and we're going to complete the weak. So now he's done as well. It's really important to always look at the basic beat and the pulse before we're adding our rests. When you have the time signature of 3/4, the pulse is strong, weak, weak. And here we have 1/8 note, and we need to add 1/8 rest to complete this 1 beat. And then we can cross them off. The next thing we want to do is we want to look at the pulse. we can see here we have week to a week. Can we join these two beats together for one rest? Nope, not join. So we use our little tilde sign and we need two separate quarter rests and we cross them off. 1, 2. So now we have strong, weak, weak, not combined. In our final measure, the time signature says 4/4. So that tells us that we're going to have 4 quarter note values per measure, right? Strong, weak, medium, weak. Now, when you're taking a look at 4/4 time, there may be different things because now we see that we've got strong, we have weak, and we have medium pulse. So how are we going to do this? In 4/4 time, the pulse is strong, weak, medium, weak. And here we have 1 quarter note and 1/8 note and 1/8 rest. So we're going to start off with that, cross off our basic beat. Now the next thing that we want to look at is when we have 1/8 note and 1/8 rest, that equals this one strong beat. So he's done. We always cross off what we have. Next, we look at the pulse. Can a weak be joined to a medium? No. So we add our tilde sign, and then we're going to add 1 quarter rest and cross off basic beat number 2. In the final part of the measure, we see we have 2 quarter note values, medium, weak. Can a weak be joined to can a medium be joined to a weak? Yes. So we can add 1 half rest and then cross off basic beat 3 and basic beat number 4. So now we've completed our pulse. And before we can add another rest to complete a measure, we always need to look at the pulse. Can a medium pulse be combined with a weak pulse? Yes. And so you can add your rest and combine them together at the same time because 2 quarter note rest values equals 1 half rest. So you add your half rest and always remember to cross off your basic beat. That's really important and that's how you can easily score 100%. And now for step number 3. By the way, really, I'd love to hear from you. Just comment below. Tell me a little thing about what's maybe one thing that your students struggle with when it comes to learning rhythm and rest rules. Like what's one thing that they kind of feel that it's confusing and how can we make it easy for you? Well, I've created a free gift for you. The Ultimate Music Theory Teacher's Guide that you can download right now and the link is in the description below. Let me know how you enjoy it. In step number 3, we make it about the sound of the music itself. Why do we need to learn pulse in simple time anyway? So when we play our music, we can easily recognize pulse. We can feel the strong, weak, and medium pulses and understand the importance of silence in music. So why do we need to have rests in music anyway? Well, rests add depth and emotion to the music through silence. And silence is just as important as sound in communicating. Think about it. Music is a message. It's a story. It's entertainment. Silence creates suspense and tension and drama, or pause for thought. Rest let the music breathe and just catch up. So in step number 3, it's time to take the final step to score 100% in understanding rhythm and rest placement in simple time. Now it's time to engage in the VAC, visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. So visual, see the music, analyze the time signature, enter in your scoop, your basic beat, and pulse to understand the rest rules. Auditory, hear the music, listen to your favorite music, your favorite song, and just analyze the music. Not only listening to the melody, but the effective use of rests to convey the composer's message. And finally, kinesthetic. Clap the rhythmic pattern and count out loud, carefully observing the rests for silence. Compose a melody using a rhythmic pattern that includes rests and look for different ways to incorporate rests into your music for those really effective dramatic pauses. Now here's a little 2-measure phrase I'm going to play for you that you may recognize, and I want you to listen. First I'm going to clap it for you and then I'm going to play it for you. Are you ready? So here it is. The little two-measure phrase includes very well-placed rests, and it engages us in sort of waiting for that, that final ending. You kind of knew it was coming, didn't you? In fact, when I play it for you on the keyboard, have a listen. You probably were really waiting for those last two notes, right? Ta-ta, rest. Well, as we anticipate the final ending after the rest, we just kind of know it was coming. Share your experience in our Ultimate Music Theory Facebook group, because I'd love to hear what kind of music you like to listen to that has a dramatic rest placement or pause, including your own composition. I'd love to hear it. For more information on how you can join our community and teach UMT, simply go to teachumt.com. Through the years, we have helped thousands of musicians and music teachers master their music theory concepts and implement these tips into teaching both in-person and online music theory lessons. To learn more about how you can teach UMT, simply go to teachumt.com, and I'll see you inside. In expert tip number 8, you will learn melody ending. You will discover how melody phrase endings may be written using an unstable or a stable scale degree. So, till next time, teach with passion.